Hello everyone, Will here. Thought I'd do a little video about copper cents. I have a lot of videos out there about saving copper cents, but I get a lot of questions, a lot of emails, a lot of comments. A lot of times they ask the same thing over and over again. So I thought I'd do a little video, just cover the frequently asked questions about saving copper cents. Kind of, maybe if you're a beginner into it, you're just looking into it, maybe start off with this video. If you're old at it, if you've been doing it a while, none of this information will be news to you, but there's a lot of beginners out there who may want to learn this stuff. So hopefully I'll cover all the bases with this video. Right now a copper cent is worth 2.6 cents. Up until 1982, a copper cent was made out of 95% copper. During 1982, 82 was a transition year. They started out making 95% copper cents, and then they switched over to making zinc cents, 95% zinc. So 1982 can be copper and it can be zinc. Zinc cents aren't worth saving. You don't want them. But they look pretty much exactly like the copper cents. The best way to do that is to weigh them. We'll get into that a little later. But if you're new to, if you're wondering how to make money off of this, go to a bank, ask them for a $25 box of pennies, take the box home, sort through it, pick out every cent that's made before 1982, and all the cents that are 1982, set them off to the side. All the ones made before 82, put them in a container. I use these are from Costco, the peanuts. When it gets full, it weighs 15 pounds. I actually, the container itself here weighs 4.4 ounces, so put it on a scale, make it 15 pounds, 4.4 ounces, and I know I got 15 pounds of copper in there. Well, 15 pounds of copper cents, I should say. They're 95% copper, so it isn't exactly 15 pounds of copper. So what's the best way, back to the 82 cents, what's the best way to tell the difference? Yourself a little scale like this. Now there are ways, guys like to drop them on a table. A copper cent will ring, while a zinc cent will kind of just go with a thud. But that's kind of hard to, it's not really scientific. So take a little scale like this, and here's a 79 copper cent. All copper cents weigh 3.1 ounces. This area is a little uneven because of the wicker. It's messing the scale up. So put this on here, it should say 3.1. 3.1. Okay, zinc cents. All zinc cents should weigh 2.5 grams. So put it on there, 2.5 grams. That is the most accurate way to tell the difference between a zinc 82 and a copper 1982 cent. So what do you do with all the zinc cents left over? You know, you get a $25 box from the bank, you sort through it, you get like $7, $7 in copper cents out of it, so you're left with like $18, $20 in zinc cents left over. What do? Well, don't waste your time rolling them. Look around. There's a lot of banks now, credit unions that have free penny counters. Just take them, find one, open an account if you have to. Most of the times it's free for account holders. And you just, I walk in there sometimes with a 5-gallon bucket and I dump them in there, and they count it up for me and get my cash. It doesn't cost anything. It looks just like the coin store machines, but what you want to do is find one that's free, that doesn't cost you money to use. Now, that's when you're hand sorting. When you're hand sorting these, don't forget about looking for heirs. I'm not going to go into which heir coins are worth money. Just do a Google search. Just type in penny heir cents. You'll get a list. Google's your friend. So check my notes here. Let's see what we got. Wheat cents. An advantage of hand sorting is that you're going to find wheat pennies. Don't find them very often, but something to look out for. A lot of times they are can bring more money. Even common wheat cents, put them in a roll, they bring about $4 or $5 for a roll. Maybe not $5, maybe $3 or $4. But keep those separate. They're worth more. A lot of wheat cents are worth money too to collectors, so keep an eye out for those. All right, now what do you want to do if you really want to get serious about sorting copper cents? Well, what you want to get is a machine called a Rydal sorter. Again, check out, I forget what the website is, but just go to Google, type in Rydal sorter, and you'll see what I mean. These machines are not cheap, but they allow you to do a whole lot of volume on copper cents. It'll sort quicker than you can open the rolls. Very nice machine. Had one for a long time, then sold it. Wish I wouldn't have sold it. I've been wanting to get one back for a while now. It's definitely on my radar, something to do. Copper right now is at a low. It's like $3.98 a pound. That's on the commodities market. Of course, that's not what the scrapyard's paying you, but that's what it's going for right now on the commodities market. It was up to $4.60 earlier this year. It's taken a drop because there's fears of another global recession. I think they're unfounded. I think copper's going to rebound. Copper's used so much in industry that when building and production drops, a lot of that uses copper. So demand goes down. When demand goes down, price goes down. So you got your copper cents. Where are you going to sell them? Well, really, I can't stress this enough. This is really a long-term thing. I would suggest take them, shove them under your bed, shove them in the back of your closet. Try to forget it you even have them. It's a long-term thing, but you can make money doing this. People do make money selling copper cents. What you want to do is check out eBay. There's quite a market for copper cents on eBay. The problem with eBay is all the fees involved. You know, your listing fees, your final value fees, your PayPal fees. It really cuts into your profit margin because right now copper cents are selling about for twice face value, but by the time you take out all your fees out of that, you're not looking at a whole lot of profit left over. You can try Craigslist. Won't cost you anything. Do a face-to-face meeting with somebody who wants to buy copper cents there. Try some forums. Once again, check out Google. There's forums out there for like-minded people who's saving copper cents, and probably work out a deal with somebody there. One thing I get, question I get a lot is, isn't melting cents illegal? Yes, right now it is illegal to melt U.S. copper cents. One day that'll change, but I really don't care if it does. Right now, I don't know why you would want to melt these. They have, right now, you have collector value in these cents. Even if they're junk cents, there's collector value here. Melt them down into a glob of copper, you don't know what the purity is. You lose a lot of value, in my opinion. One day, when copper has risen enough, you're going to see coin dealers selling copper cents at coin shows in like 1, 2, 5 pound boxes for right around melt price of copper. Pretty much what they do with silver right now, junk silver coins. You got to remember, back in 1964, you could walk into a bank, get all the silver quarters, dimes, half dollars, dollars you wanted at face value. Not a whole lot of people could realize, you know, that silver quarter that they could get at face value in 1964, you know, 40, 50 years later, is now going for over $7 a quarter. Same thing's going to happen to copper, folks. I've made the prediction. I'm sticking to it. I've been, within 10 years, a roll of 50 of these is going to be worth about $5. That'd be about 10 cents a penny, melt value. I think copper's going to go up that much. So think long term. There's around 150, give or take, there's around 150 pennies to a pound. Good way to estimate how much you have. So there you go. And of course you could try to collect copper bars, but really, I mean, the risk. That's another thing I wanted to touch on. You get these from the bank, you're paying a penny a piece, automatically worth 2.6 cents melt value. I don't care that you can't melt them right now. Remember, long term, that's all going to change long term. Eventually, we're going to do away with the cent, probably the nickel, one day. But the cent will go first. Probably start rounding to the nearest nickel. You know, if it's $1.03, you're going to pay $1.05. If it's $1.02, you're going to pay $1. If you're paying electronically, you would pay $1.03. But that's where I see it going. But the risk involved. You know, if you're buying it for face value, and people always say, oh, they're going to replace copper. Well, they have replaced copper, and they've replaced copper in about everything that they can. PVC pipes, for instance. But there's a lot of times copper is just such a good metal that a lot of applications you need to use copper. Nothing else will do. Believe me, industry would love to find a substitute for copper, a cheap substitute, but there is none. I may be wrong. Maybe they'll come up with something one day. And if they do, what's worst case scenario? I take my jar of copper pennies down to the coin sorter, and I dump them in, and I get my money back. Now really, what have I really lost? A little bit of time, maybe, you know, a little bit of interest on the money, but nothing to really worry about. So look into saving your copper cents. It's definitely something you want to do. Now's the time to do it. More and more people are saving these every day. The supply gets a little less every day. Look into it. Real quick, copper bars, not really worth it. Pretty to look at, neat to have around, but just not worth it. This thing was like $15, I think I paid, with shipping off eBay. Not worth it when you compare to the value you get just sorting the coins for yourself from the bag. And getting right now 2.6 cents, it was 3 cents. You get a 2.6 cent piece of copper for a penny. That's a bargain. Be on the lookout for copper around you. Picked this bar up at a yard sale a couple years ago. It was in a box with wire and just a junk box. This is a little over 2 pounds here. Nice thick piece. But save copper where you can. Think long term.